All right. So I am live. I am live. And today's video is going to be a little bit different than I normally do. Um, I don't know if this video is going to stay. Please excuse this camera. I just got a new um, webcam and it's trying to focus. But anyways, spill my drink. Today, I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different because there are some updates that I want to share with you guys. And there are some new things that have been going on in our world, magically and otherwise, that I would like for you guys to know about. Okay. So we'll do all the business stuff first. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So I want to first talk about a lot of you guys know I moved from Instagram to I'm on TikTok now, and I'm also on Patreon as well as being here. And I left Instagram because I wasn't feeling the new policies that they had, and I didn't want you guys to be subjected to those things to be able to see me or to get the content that you wanted from me. I typically don't like a lot of restriction in my life anyways, so I wasn't about to let Instagram or anyone stop me from being able to give the information that I felt like was so necessary. And I feel like even overwhelmed right now. Like I feel so happy right now to be able to do this work, and I'm so happy that I get to make this choice and make these moves, and that it doesn't really like negatively impact me, and it actually allows for more opportunities to come. But it also is sad because I know that there's a lot of people who are struggling financially right now and who may not be able to pay to see certain content. So I will make things available on YouTube that are for free and that you can continue to access. But there are certain things, and I'm going to try to say things without saying them because I don't want this video to get taken down, but it might. So if you're catching this and it's up, I don't know how long it will be up, but let's just pray it's up for longer than 24 hours. So I'm going to be making my move to Patreon. On Patreon, I'll be able to share more content, more uploads on what's going on right now in our community and in the world and what's happening, being able to decode what's going down. We need to be supporting each other right now because things are about to change. Major changes. Gosh, you guys, it's really insane. But I want to first start by saying this. I am going to be making available a link here for a Dropbox that I will be offering for anyone who would like to access some information about what we're going to be talking about. So if I bring up a book or something like that, most likely I'm going to have it in that Dropbox. I'm making it available for the people on this channel and anyone who watches this so that they can do what they want with it and educate themselves. But I have a bigger Dropbox list on my actual Patreon, and that's only available for the Master Magician category. And it has, I'm telling you, like at least it has hundreds of books in there and more free books that you can get and things that I'll be expanding on and talking about. When we do rituals and stuff, I'll be saying, I got this part of the ritual from this book, and you'll be able to access it without having to go and buy it. Tons of correspondences, tons of stuff. Intense protection rituals. Absolutely. Because and I'm trying to wrangle my energy because I have so many things that I want to talk about and I have so many things I want to tell you guys. And I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I will start by saying this. If you guys are not familiar with Solomonic Magick, get familiar with Solomonic Magick right now. Learn about King Solomon, learn about Solomonic Magick in general. I'm also going to link on here. Darius Mills has his YouTube channel has tons of information on Solomonic Magick. I don't profess to be a, extreme expert, but I've done enough of their rituals to know that they work and they provide a lot of protection that you wouldn't even believe you could get from a ritual like that, something so ancient and so old. And he finds a way to make it modern and easy to do, where you're not sitting there doing the ritual for 600 hours for one thing, right? So I took his video, his actual video. He kind of goes through how to do everything. And he doesn't give you like a blueprint of the actual ritual. He just kind of talks you through it. So I took what he said, I wrote it down, and I put it in a format so that I could do it. And so I typed that up so that you guys could just follow that along. But it's pretty much word for word what he's saying in his videos. And you'll see that if you go check him out. That will be also made available in the Dropbox, and that is applicable to all of the sigils and all the spells or all the seals in the Solomonic Magick series. Now, I'm not really sure about some of them, because some of them are a little, I'm not talking about the lesser keys. Okay, I'm talking about the greater keys of Solomon, and we'll get into that later. Okay, the reason why I bring that up is because there is a lot of really beneficial old traditions that need to be brought back into the fold. We are about to see some stuff happen on our planet that we never thought was possible. And I can't even believe that I'm making this video right now. It's crazy to me. They are about to open the door to other worlds for us. They're about to show us quite literally what we have not been seeing, what has been in plain sight in front of our faces, what so many people have said for hundreds of years, hundreds of thousands of years was the case. Our government is going to tell us, is going to confirm that. If you have not recently heard about the bill that's passing for the $600 measly ass check that's coming in, and the reason why it's been taking so fucking long, it's not because people are, they don't, well, they don't really give a shit about us. We already know that, right? They don't give a shit about us. If they gave a shit about us, they would have locked us down earlier. They would have done a lot of different things, but they don't care about us. But if they give us if they pass this bill, they have to tell us, they have to tell the general population about all these UFOs. They have to release documentation about the UFOs and aliens that are on our planet. They have to give us that information. And I don't know if you guys have been watching the news. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with some of the stuff. I will also link in the description of this video articles from NBC News. This ain't like some little side, like BuzzFeed, like cutesy little article. This is NBC, y'all. NBC News doing a report. I'm so sorry about my camera. It is doing some weird shit. And I don't know if I should like step back or something. I have this like makeshift backboard thing. Anyways, NBC came out on December 8th. I think it was December 3rd, 8th to 8th. Saying that the head space security chief of the Israeli situation came out and basically made a statement saying that not only aliens were real, but that they have been in contact with the US government and have been a part of our society for a while, and that Trump knows about it and other people know about it and all sort of stuff. The article is crazy, and I'm not going to get into the full article because you can just go and read it yourself. You don't got to believe what I'm saying. I'm not here to try to convince you of something. I'm just here to tell you what they're saying. And the fact that a major news channel would be putting that out there so casually, and the fact that a lot of people are having experiences and seeing weird things in the sky, and just a lot of weird shit has been going on this year. Aliens really would not be that strange. After 2020, that I said at the beginning of the year, the only thing that could make this a weirder year is if the aliens came out. And bitch. They're coming. And I'm actually kind of really happy about it. I don't know. I'm actually really happy about it because they could potentially offer us better solutions for technology, medicine, all different types of stuff. And this could be the beginning the beginning of the end of the old way and the beginning of a new way, right? Yeah, I definitely want a quite crazy bingo for sure. And what's crazy about this is that they so much stuff. I mean, in the middle of the year, they declassified a bunch of documentation, basically stating that they knew that this reality was a holographic universe. They stated that, you know, manifestation and all these other things were real. They stated that our we're not accessing all parts of our brains and our beings, that we're really in this simulation, and basically proving that the law of attraction not only is real, but is how everything works in this dimension, and how we engage with things is how they engage with us. Really, really interesting things are going on. So when I first read all the articles and I first went through everything, I was kind of in a mad scientist state of mind. I wasn't really thinking about anything else. I wasn't really going anywhere with it. Yes, let's go. What's up, fam? Yes, they've been here for a minute. But to now go through the entire year and have had my own experiences. I had an experience with some of my friends this year when I went to Joshua Tree, and that shit, we were all like, there's no way we could talk about this shit because no one's going to believe what we saw. No one's going to believe that we literally saw some crazy alien type shit that can't be explained. It wasn't like we were high and it wasn't like, and we wouldn't have all hallucinated the same situation and the same thing. And we were there for 4 days and every day saw something, and couldn't sleep on the last night because there was this loud noise. Like it was like explosions or something happening. Anyways, shit's about to get real. It's about to get real. People's minds are about to be open to a capacity where, you know, people always make fun of the magical and the witchy and occult community because they're like, oh, that shit's bullshit. This shit's gonna bust people's shit wide the fuck open, because you may think my shit is bullshit, but aliens are not that, like, you know, out of depth for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is the time when we have the card, when we know already what the deal is. A lot of us who are in the spiritual magical community, we already know what the fucking situation is. We already know what's been going on in this whole agenda that has culminated to this period of time, and why the awakening that's happening right now on planet Earth is so important, because the powers that be can no longer be a part of what is about to happen, because the human consciousness is starting to wake up, and people are starting to put things together, and it's starting to be easier to get information, and, you know, people are getting smarter in the way they're consuming information, and they're tapping more into their spirituality than they are into material items, and they are genuinely compassionate and want to help each other. You know what I mean? And we're accessing this new world, this new phase. And I just want to say, because there's so many different things happening right now and so many different things going on, we have to be here for each other. This is not the time to be petty and on some bullshit. This is not the time to, you know, be fighting with people, you know, and I'm saying this for myself. In 2021, we need to make a conscious effort to not be a part of the division. If someone doesn't agree with you, fine. That's fine. How can you avoid people who are set up as agents to disrupt you and your growth? How can you avoid those people so that they are not a part of your reality? It is a scary time because people are getting sick. People are losing their homes. They're losing their jobs. And we are in winter time right now. And in, you know, half the country, it's snowing and cold. It's not a time to be losing your house or your job. And so I'm not trying to belittle anyone's situation, because I know it's hard to be a human being. It's hard to be on this motherfucking planet. You know what I mean? But we have got to see beyond the lines of what's actually being what's going on and the agenda that is behind us staying in conflict with each other. The confrontation is how they keep us in chains and keep us. I'm trying to be careful. Our consciousness is awakening. And because of this, you can't stop consciousness shift. You can't stop people from waking up to themselves. You can't control that or monitor that. Not really. Not really. You can monitor their movements online and where they're going and who they're talking to, what kind of content that they take in and their interests, what kind of pictures they take. You can monitor that, but you can't monitor the shift that happens internally in someone. And you can't stop the goodness that's rising up in people. And so I want you guys to remember that. With all the fucked up things that are going on, they're not going to tell you about the good things. They're not going to tell you what people are doing that's good for this world. Because that doesn't serve the agenda. And if they do tell you some good shit, it's really just to pander to you, to pander to us, and to lull us into a, false sense of stability that things are fine, things are going to be okay. And the reality is, things will be okay, but they're going to get weird. It's going to get weird. In my Dropbox link, there's a book, and let me just try to remember what it's called. The Tavistock Institute of Human Relations by Coleman John. This is a book that talks about how the old school cats wanted to create society to be a certain way. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because I want you to just go on the link and I want you to read it for yourself. It is a heavy read, but I promise you it'll be worth it because it tells you exactly what it is that's happening right now and why they're doing the things they're doing and how this year came to be, right? If they pass this bill and then they tell everybody what a lot of us have already known, what are you going to do with that information? How's that going to change you? How's that going to affect you? Are you going to make different plans? Are you going to freak out? Are you going to lose your shit? What are you going to do if you hear and find out that, yeah, actually, not only are there aliens, not only are there aliens from other dimensions and other worlds, but that maybe you are from those other worlds. What happens if, when you find that out, something in you clicks and gets activated, and all the years that you spent feeling weird and strange and out of place was because actually your home is someplace else? And this opens up a lot of possibilities, right? Can we go to these other places? Are these accessible? If we're in a simulation, can we just drop out of this and go someplace else? Really go there? And a lot of us can through meditation, through astral projection. But then it starts opening up a can of worms of other things. And the government knows that. They've been trying to keep us inside so we don't see all the things that are going on in the sky. And I wish that I could say more, but I want to keep this safe. And I want you to empower yourself because it's not about me. what you're doing for you is ultimately beneficial for me, because the more people that are really waking up and doing this work, the more people who are interested in finding out the truth, the faster the collective consciousness grows and takes back their power. I'm more interested in that. So I'm not talking to people who don't want to do the work. I'm not talking to people who are lazy and who want all the answers fed to them. And I'm not going to put that on this platform, because this platform censors people who speak truth. And you see how easy it is to get things taken down, cut off, shut off. This is against our guidelines, even though you didn't say anything harmful, saying that there's bullying, nudity, whatever, just random things, making shit up to get shit taken down. All of a sudden, the fucking the voice shit doesn't work, and you can't hear any of the audio. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So the information will be available. And if you really want to know what's good, you'll come to Patreon and meet me. But I'm not here to pitch my Patreon. I'm here to just let you know that be prepared for something that you didn't think was ever going to happen in this physical reality. Because I promise you, I mean, if you guys could have been there when me and my friends, and they're here in the chat here, Magic Weed Palo Santo was coochie. When we went to Joshua Tree and we had that experience, man, I wish every person on the planet could have that experience, and they are about to have that experience. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was freaky. It freaked me out, because obviously I'm like, well, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And also, what is it? You know, like, what is this? We saw portals opening up into the sky. We saw weird stuff coming out of the mountain, like, you know, that there's no roads in these areas. So how could anything be, you know, and stars moving in formation. It's not like a shooting star across the sky. It's stars moving in formation. It doesn't make any sense. How is it that far out and it's a star? It's been sitting there in a constellation zone, and now you guys are just rotating and then collectively going in one direction. Like, what? Y'all got me fucked up. I know. And people want to say, oh, it could have been a drone. I was like, yeah, but a drone wouldn't be a star. It wouldn't be in space. Like, yeah, it was, yeah, in June. We went there. We were there for 4 days. And it was the full moon in Sagittarius. I remember that because we had our crystals out and we were charging the crystals. And the moon was just beaming down right at the spot that we were at. And like the wind was really crazy. And it was just like, it was so active in the space, so active in the air. You really felt like you were not alone. Like it felt very busy, even though everyone was asleep. None of the people in the neighborhood that we were Airbnb were awake. Were like out. Weird stuff was going on in the neighborhood. Gunshots all of a sudden, honking, animals just going nuts whenever we would see some weird shit in the sky. So, you know, that. And then the weirdest part about everything was when we go into the town, because we were in like 29 Palms, so it wasn't technically Joshua Tree. But when we would go into the fucking town, and we would ask people like at the cash register or whatever, like, hey, like, have you heard about like anything that's like this weird stuff happening in the sky? These motherfuckers would not tell us anything. We literally were in this crystal shop talking to this dude. It was me and my homie. We were talking to this guy, and I literally straight dead on to his face said, do you guys see any weird stuff in the sky? Because we saw some stuff happen last night, and I don't know what it was, but it was not normal. Does this happen? Is this regular? Like, is there an army base? Like, what? Like, could it have been something else? Like, we were open to it being something else, and for it to like, it was really wild. So I don't think it would have really mattered, but we were open to it possibly being another thing. But when we would ask people, they would deflect and not answer the question. They'd be like, I'd be like, so do you guys see anything in the sky? And they'd be like, what's crazy is the Aztecs used to take daggers that were made out of these crystals, and they're really just stones, and that was how they used to do their sacrifice rituals. I'd be like, what? What? And I'd ask him again. And he'd be like, I'm taking up gardening. It's hard to plant in this climate. Like, did not want to answer our questions. People would look at us really strange. And I mean, I'm not saying that they were aliens. I'm just saying that people in the community know that there is weird shit. And I feel like there is something that they're not allowed to talk about it. Because a lot of people go to Joshua Tree because they want to see weird shit in the sky. And it's kind of like known for alien stuff or whatever the case may be. And then something else that I found out is that there's a lot of just people who go missing and just die mysteriously. They don't have a cemetery in the town. So wherever the person was last seen, they just set up a little thing, and there was burials all over, like on the side of the road, different trees. They don't have a cemetery in their town. People just disappear. He did look like an alien, straight up. He did look like an alien, Anthony. And I swear he probably was, because the way he was acting just didn't make any sense. Because look, if you don't want people, oh my God, this is just crazy to me because I'm thinking about it and I'm remembering that situation. If you didn't want people to think that you're an alien or that there was aliens, all you have to say is, no, there's not really that activity. Maybe it was the base that's down the way, whatever. But they're not allowed to lie to us. They're not allowed to lie to us. So he couldn't lie. So he had to say something else in hopes that I would just stop asking. I asked like 3 times. And literally Anthony's looking at me like, is this nigga really not gonna answer your question? Is he really not gonna answer your question? And we just let it go because he was being weird. And I was like, let's just get out of here. But we asked other people at other places and same thing. Like, no, I didn't see anything. No. You feel me? Like, and if we're in this community, we know that things that people think are impossible, things that people say are absolutely just never going to happen, and it's not possible. We know that those things are absolutely possible. We practice magic. We conjure energies and we pull in the ether to make things happen in our reality. We already are here in this realm, right? So it's not that far-fetched for us to believe that there are people out here that are not from here, because we understand how the spirit works, ancestor, there's other realms. We're summoning angels and demons and old gods and goddesses. And, a lot of us are doing work with people, with beings from other dimensions and other realities and other places all the time. So it's not necessarily all that crazy, but think about it like this. It's about to be exposed to the general population, not just people who are interested in these types of things. They're about to tell everybody. And doesn't that just seem kind of interesting? Like, if you tell us that, then you got to tell us a lot of other stuff, don't you? You got to give up all the tea, because people are not going to just accept that that's the case. They're going to want proof and evidence, and then other questions will start to unfold. And then people are going to start questioning this reality and this world and this planet and why they should do any of the things that we're doing. Like, this opens up a huge can of worms. This is why they don't want to pass this law, this bill. They would be totally fine with not giving us a damn cent, even though we all desperately need support to support each other and to be supported right now. They would absolutely not pass this bill so that they don't have to deal with what's going to come, the hysteria that will come from people finding out that we are not alone. Yeah, I'm reading the comments now. Yeah, he did. He just started talking to us. And I don't know. It's possible. But we asked the cashier. She's working there. She wasn't answering the question either. And she was kind of looking like, don't ask me. I'm just yeah, this is not even the cusp of the type of shit that they're hiding from us, because they're afraid of the mass hysteria that's going to come over people, because some people's brains cannot wrap their head around that level. It's just, it would explode them, and it could make people just lose it. And it's going to be hard to control people when they're like, well, what the fuck is real? This whole time you're telling me that this isn't real, then what, like, is anything, like, what is this? So what I'm telling you this, I'm not doing this to scare you. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to prepare you, because we already have the keys. We already have the bag. We already know what's going on. We came into this dimension for this. So if you have an opportunity to, I would do research, and I'm going to share that information. It is written in the bill. So I would go online and look at the bill. But the reason why it's coming out is because, not just randomly, if you've been keeping up with anything that's been going on in that realm this year, again, like I said, in December, the beginning of December, there was a news article, and it was on TV, NBC News, about the space security chief saying that, yes, there is aliens, and they have been working with the US government, and there are alien and human ambassadors that meet on another planet. Like, I'm telling you guys, you got to just go look at it, because you're really not, it sounds unbelievable. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. And I personally love it, but it could create people's worst nightmare, because it means, like, it's one thing, there's dangers that are already existing in this realm and in this world that are hard enough to battle and fight off. Now you're talking about an entirely different species of a race of beings that you don't know if they're malevolent. You don't know how to interface with them, if they could, you don't know what to expect. You spent your whole life believing one thing, and now they're telling you that that is all a lie. That's what I'm saying. We gotta really take care of ourselves right now, because after that shit gets dropped, we might see some people act out. And I want you guys to be protected, and I want you guys to take care of yourself, and I want you guys to be spiritually strong, because at the end of the day, like I said before, you came here for a specific divine purpose. The only reason why you're alive during this specific time was because you had a divine purpose and mission to fulfill. And so, because you have that divine mission and that divine purpose to fulfill, you need to understand that spirit is not going to allow you to be here 1 minute before you need to go or after you need to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to do what you need to do. Be in alignment with why you're here. Honor yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Because we're still going to be going through this. I know people are like, oh, well, there's a vaccine and there's this and there's that. We're going to be able to go back to normal. No. No. We're not going back to normal. I just want everybody to know that. There is no back to normal. They've been saying this is the new normal since the beginning of lockdown. They knew what was going on. They knew. They had to ease us into this shit. And this shit just randomly pops up all of a sudden. And they don't know where the fuck it came from, really. A bat. But we ain't gonna get into that. Because that's not why I'm not here for that. I'm here for this. Learn how to protect yourself. Psychic protection, aura healing. If you become, again, I know this sounds like a plug, but I'm just letting you guys know what the bag is, what the key is. On my Patreon, I offer a full Dropbox with tons of books that you would probably have to pay a ton of money for. And one of the books that I'm going to be offering for free that I'm going to be giving on this specific live, if you go on Amazon and try to get it, it's literally $3,000 because they don't print it anymore. So it's $3,000 and I'm giving it to you for free. I want you to read it. Don't just take my word for it. Don't take anything that anyone says for their word. It's not about just following along to orders. Tap in with what it is that you feel like you need to be doing right now. Listen, decode, read between the lines, use discernment, take care of yourself. If you're feeling like something's maybe not the move, this is not the right thing to do, don't do it. So I'm blown away because I was not expecting that this was going to be the live. I was thinking that the live was going to be like updates. I'm going to be doing my class, glamour magic, da 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 da. But that's not what came forward tonight. And I'm happy that I didn't just derail and talk about some other shit. I'm still doing my magical course on glamour magic. And that's still happening. And that's going to be dope. And I'm really excited about that for next month. And there's a lot of other things that are coming in the works. But the type of stuff that I'm going to be talking about and sharing, I can't put it on here, you guys. And I know you guys understand what I'm saying because I've had to speak in code this whole time just so that I can make sure that this video doesn't get taken down before anybody else gets to see it. We're in true spiritual warfare right now. And every ally is necessary, which is why we got to stop fighting over dumb shit. The type of shit that the witch community and the occult community be fighting over is just so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh, what kind of herbs you're using and don't use these types of like, bitch, we could be invaded by fucking we could be in another fucking world in 180 days. And you over here fighting with people because they want to use McCormick seasonings in their ritual. And you over here getting mad at people because, you know what I mean? I have to check myself too, not to entertain some of these trolls on here. But what we cannot do is derail the point and the mission and the purpose. A lot of people are waking up. It's no coincidence that for the first time in hundreds of years, you could be an open practitioner of magic and not be burnt at the stake. This is our time. This is our time. And we have to use it wisely, and we have to use our voices wisely, and we have to be patient with ourselves because we are evolving as humans do. And it's not going to be the pretty little picture that everybody wants it to be. It's not going to be the pretty little picture that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be messy. But how have you been handling mess this year? That's a real question. How have you been handling your mess this year? If you have not been doing your work and you've been avoiding, putting it off, putting it off, waiting for somebody to give you the okay, waiting for someone to tell you that you should do this for yourself, waiting for the answer, watching the news constantly, absorbing yourself in bullshit that doesn't even fucking matter, spiraling into toxic behavioral patterns because that's the only way that you know how to cope, continuing to entertain relationships and situations that don't serve your highest good. I mean, look, we've all been through some shit this year, all of us. But how do we deal with the shit? How do we deal with the mess? If we know all in all, we can pull ourselves up and we can lean in our community and on the people that we care about to really do the right thing when the people who were literally given the job to take care of us and support us are not doing that. If we can be that for each other, then we gonna be all right. But when we take up arms against each other, we're not focusing on the real enemy who's trying to destroy us collectively. And I'm not talking about aliens. I'm talking about people who came here with the agenda, the agents. You know what I mean? So if you want to know what they're doing, why they're doing it, where it's going, you're going to go on that Dropbox link when I post this. You're going to click it, you're going to download it, you're going to read it. And then you're going to also click on Darius Mills' YouTube videos, and you're going to check out the Solomonic magic, the greater keys of Solomon, and you're going to work on the magic that's going to protect you, empower you, free you, cover you. And if you want to continue to get this, because I'm not always going to be able to come on here and talk about this, the next couple of live streams I'm going to be doing on my actual Patreon. Join us. Join us so that we can be together, because really, that's about the only safe place for people who really are going to set you up. I just heard an explosion in my neighborhood. That's about the only real place. Yes. That we could talk about things without it being shut down. So remember that, you guys, we are really here for a truly divine purpose when things like this are happening in our world. And big things like this. This is not just like, this is big. This is bigger than anything that has happened to us as a collective in a very long time. Historic. So how you handle you is all you need to be worried about, because everything is going to fall together exactly the way it needs to fall together. And the plan is the highest good. The plan is for everyone to wake up to themselves. If you're spending time worried about all the other bullshit, you're not helping push the plan forward for the liberation of all mankind. You help others when you help yourself. Straight up. Again, the name of the book, let me just go on here really quick. Again. is the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations by Coleman John. And you can go on Amazon and see the price. I'm giving it to you for free. I'm also going to have the Greater Keys of Solomon and a PDF file of how I do the activation ritual and summoning ritual. That's easy and simple enough. It's not going to require you to sit for ever and ever reciting hundreds of verses. Because there's an old school way, and then there is the revised version, and it's still effective. I've had a lot of success with it. I'm also going to put in there a thing on aura streaming, because I think that that's something that's really important right now, is learning how to adjust and fix and regulate and cleanse your aura and protect your aura from other people. You can also, send energy to other people, especially if you're not with them, especially if you're not with your family. That book is really great, so I want to put that in there as well. But yeah, you guys, that's it for me. If you guys have any questions, I answer any questions, but that's really why I came on here. I thought I was going to be talking about the class and this and that and New Year's. She's cute. She's ready. But there are some things that are just more important. And I'm really happy that you guys could be here. I really appreciate the love and the support as I've transitioned away from certain things and towards other things. I'm really happy to see the real OGs and the real people who ride out for me consistently, who show up consistently for me. I recognize you when I see you. I just want you to know that I see you. Because I do have a lot of people, especially new people, coming forward into the community, which I'm so happy about. Anyone that is new. But they're confused. They're just as confused. We're all confused, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't want to do work. They don't want to have to research. They don't, which is fucking crazy to me. They don't want to read anything. They just want you to make a 60-second video about it and that be enough. Just hurry up and give me the answer, is what a lot of people are, where people are at. And that's just not going to work, because you're unpacking yourself. You're unraveling all this shit that you've been unengaged with for the majority of your life. And you want the answers in 60 seconds or less. I'm supposed to tell you how to unravel all of that. That's bullshit. And I think anybody who believes that, when you go on TikTok or on these other videos, anyone who believes that you can just get it on one little bite-sized piece, or even a fucking 20-minute video, that's going to be enough to solve you can get a lot out of something. But if you're not doing that work, and you're not willing to do that work for yourself when no one's looking and it's not cute, and you're not in the comment sections like, yeah, I passed it along, I did the mantra for 21 days, and be able to stitch it and be like, yeah, see, it happened. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason why you want to do it, is so that you can get an amount of followers by reacting to that. Like, it's not about your actual evolution. You're not really trying to heal this shit. You just want other people to see that you're healing your shit. I'm not really with that. And maybe I'm just like old school with that. I don't think I am. I just think that what it is that I'm doing this because I want to do this. I'm interested in this, and I care about what I'm putting inside of myself, when I know that I have been force-fed information and ways of thinking my entire life that intrinsically I knew was wrong. While the world told me that this was what was going on, and that this is how I should be, and this is who I was, and this is who I should be mad at, and this is the places I should go and I shouldn't go. And I felt all along that that was false. And now motherfuckers are just now coming into the game trying to act like, oh, hurry up and tell me. I was like, it took me my whole life to unravel it. You want me to unravel it for you in 20 seconds? No. I cannot do that. What I can do is I can point you in the right direction. I can set you up for for your greatness and let you empower you, because I'm not your savior. I can be inspiration. I can be an encouragement for you. I can teach you. But at some point, you got to go out there and apply the work. Have a relationship with it. Stop judging yourself about whether or not you're doing it right and start doing it so that you can fail and get better at it. And stop going on my comment section being like, well, I thought about doing it, but I didn't do it because I don't want to do it wrong. So should I do it this way or should I do it that way? And I'm like, well, then you haven't done shit. You haven't done it, so you haven't done shit. What you worried about? You already failed because you didn't do it. Like, you know what I mean? People are so afraid of themselves. And that's why I'm saying, and I know I was supposed to end this before, but so I'm saying this is not about fear mongering. It's not about me trying to get you to do something that I want you to do. I would love to have you guys join me on Patreon because it does allow me to be more open with the things that I want to say. But I'm also willing to be here with you guys and meet you where you're at. I love and care about all of you guys, and I want to make sure that I can give you guys the tea when the tea needs to be spilled, and especially when the tea is hot. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to entertain people lowering themselves and debasing themselves in my presence and not stepping into the full greatness of who they can be. Because they're so afraid of failing that they don't even want to try. I'm not going to entertain that shit. Because I don't need that, and we don't need that right now. We need people to stand up. We need people to stand up right now. Shit's fucked up already. We ain't got time for people to be questioning. We already know shit's fucked up, okay? What are you doing about it? What are you doing for yourself to make that easier? What are you contributing positively into society and into this collective consciousness that is going to help us get out of this situation? Otherwise, you're trying to grab onto my coattail and bring me down with you. And you become the agent. So let's wake up. The age of Aquarius is now. It's time to wake up. We've been sleeping for a very long time. And it's okay to wake up. Rub the crusties out of your eyes, splash some water on your face, wash your ass, put some clothes on, put your boots on, and let's do this work. Because 2021 is not going to be, it's not going to be the way that, we all thought 2020 was going to be a certain way. We were very wrong about that, right? And maybe some of us were right. It wasn't all bad for us. But I will say this, 2021 is going to be a continuation for that if you don't do your fucking work. And you're going to be beating yourself up at the end of the year when shit hits the fan or when shit goes down or when the tides turn and you have not made any adjustments or changes and you can't even make it. You can't even go into this new phase with us because you haven't done the other basic remedial shit to get you at the level that you needed to be to go up to the next level. And I'm not trying to talk shit because we all had to start someplace. I didn't just come out of my mom's vagina knowing all this. They're probably going to take me down for that. I didn't come out knowing all this information. I had to live it and go through it and work through my own shit. So if you weren't doing that work this year, I would start doing it now, because you still have time. You still have time. And you're not alone. A lot of people are not awake, and a lot of people are not, it's not even just that they're not awake. They're still not healed. They haven't figured out what they want to do. They don't understand why they're here. They're still battling these things. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not meant to be just fully perfect beings with no flaws and nothing to work on. We're perfect the way that we are, but we still have things that we have to deal with. to get to where we want to be. So, with that being said, give yourself the space and the time to do that, but not doing anything and not doing the work and expecting for things to just arrive and sit in your lap, that is how you fuck yourself up. That's how you fuck yourself up. And you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because 2021 is not going to play. And with the Aquarius energy that's coming, you better pick a side. Get left behind. Neutrality is not an option. Neutrality is not an option. You cannot be in a neutral place. It's not an option. So at least be on your team. Yeah. I love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Set intentions tomorrow for the new year. Cleanse your space. Wash your face. And I'll see you guys soon. I love you. Be blessed.